Oh, good afternoon, everyone. An update on our first alert weather day for today. March 1st coming in like a lion, and all along everything's kind of behaving as we expected. We're capped so far right now. There's a lid on the atmosphere. There's a possibility this is going to break after 6 o'clock this evening. Tornado watch is going to be coming out shortly for northern Mississippi back into Arkansas. It'll run right up to the state line. I do want to update you on Thursday and Friday as well. They are first alert weather days. Different timing and different reasons here. Thursday's a little bit questionable on whether or not we're really going to have anything severe late in the afternoon, but we are expecting a potential high wind impact coming in Friday. So for this evening, beginning after 6 o'clock for us, area in white here, this is what we're concerned with for the potential for initial supercell type storms, and they would be capable of damaging straight line winds, tornadoes, and that threat will last 3 or 4 hours, and then this quickly becomes a line of strong to severe thunderstorms. I think the biggest impact is going to be areas in red here from Huntsville, Decatur, Moulton to the west and northwest between 7 p.m. and midnight tonight. 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. in orange, that will be the squall line as it tracks to the east-southeast. We're going to go over the data here in just a second, and I do think this is going to start weakening considerably and become more of a flash flood threat overnight tonight. So here's our threat tonight. Strong to severe storms late this evening, heavy rain overnight, some flooding out in the morning commute. Not expecting severe weather for tomorrow morning. Thursday, again, it's conditional in the afternoon. We will recover a bit after the morning rain, but the rain's going to protect us tomorrow morning from severe weather, but we may have flash flooding. So again, we'll have to watch that too. Severe storm threat tomorrow afternoon. The biggest thing I can tell you right now is if that starts to become a real threat, a severe thunderstorm watch, a tornado watch will be issued, so that'll be your notification. I don't think you're just going to start seeing warnings issued without a watch. Friday morning, we're watching this closely. Could be a high impact wind event for the possibility of widespread 50 to 60 mile per hour winds, so we could have some damage out there, power lines, power outages, fences down, basketball goals down, patio furniture, and of course trampolines thrown around too. So let's talk about tonight. I do want to show you, I mentioned the supercell potential, and this is model guidance kind of showing this one thunderstorm here near Florence. These will be tracking to the northeast, another one back here near Tupelo, and also these numbers, we don't show these all the time. This is called CAPE. It's convective available potential energy, and what that is basically thunderstorm fuel. It's what allows these bigger storms to develop on their own, kind of take out that energy from the atmosphere and produce the larger hail and potentially some stronger tornadoes. Again, this is a very short window, 3 to 4 hour window here. Notice as we get towards 9 o'clock, we start to see the potential here for these clusters of thunderstorms to move east-northeast. The air is still unstable, so there's that threat that continues in these areas. And that's the same area that I had in red. Quick sip of coffee here. I have my 3 o'clock cup of coffee. And I think I'm probably going to need it as we go through the evening hours. So as we go through time here, I do want to show you how things really start to change. Notice down to the south, the air becomes more stable here, and it's stabilizing in the shoals, so it becomes rain-cooled up into Middle Tennessee. So that's a good sign, and that's why I think the severe threat may be a quick hitting threat of severe weather and then quickly fade away and turn into a threat for mainly straight-line winds for an hour or two and then heavy rain overnight tonight. So as we continue on, here's 1 o'clock in the morning. The air is rain-cooled. We may get a break in the rain, but I think it's going to come surging back just before the morning commute tomorrow, and that could cause some problems with flash flooding. Of course, it's never fun to drive in heavy rain, let alone get out of your car in the parking lot and head into work. Notice the morning hours. We are saved here by the rain as the unstable air stays down here to the south, but it won't stay there all day. And as we get later into the afternoon, that becomes the big question. Want to talk helicity index tonight, this afternoon, and this is one of the things I really like to look at when we're forecasting severe weather. And again, this all depends on if this lid on the atmosphere starts to break, and all signs are that probably around 8 o'clock it will. Anytime you get around 2, and notice this matches the same area I have outlined in the red outlook area for the higher impact for these storms. And what you see on the future radar is basically what I had earlier on the timeline. And the same thing happens here. This all starts to break down as we go past midnight. Now let's talk late Thursday afternoon and evening. Again, I mentioned what you're going to notice is if a watch gets issued, that means that threat is developing. I don't think we're going to get warnings without a watch initially put in play. And we may go through the late afternoon or early evening hours with not much activity at all. There may not be what we call a trigger to lift the thunderstorms. Overnight Thursday, we're starting to get more confidence that we will get an extended break. However, what we're going to watch, and this keeps showing up, is this narrow, innocent-looking line of thunderstorms. To the meteorologist's trained eye, though, that is a problem. Whenever you get a very narrow area of thunderstorms showing up, and when they happen like this, typically this is a precursor to significant high wind. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. So as this races through the area, we're talking wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour, and behind it they may be sustained for about an hour or so at 40. So significant wind threat here. Let's talk briefly about these winds. That'll end by 1 o'clock. We don't have any severe weather to talk about, but we could still see some high winds. Look at these wind gusts here at 10:30 in the morning Friday from the forecast guidance, around 50 miles per hour along that line, and they even increased to near 60 miles per hour behind the line. So this is behind the line of storms, and we're still talking winds 40 to 50 miles per hour, and here's that wind gust of 61 miles per hour at 5 o'clock up in Pulaski. So I think we're going to see a high wind warning. So I know I've covered a lot of stuff here on this YouTube update, but I just wanted to make sure you know, because I get a lot of questions when it comes to, is this the only event? So we're not getting anything. There are 3 specific timelines. One's this evening, very early tomorrow morning, then tomorrow afternoon, really questionable whether we get that. And then I think there's a higher certainty of extreme wind potentially with this narrow line coming through as we get into Friday morning. So again, that kind of summarized over the last 7 minutes. I'll have more coming up later today. I'll be doing a Facebook Live as well. But that's the latest from here. See you guys later.